Hi everyone, I'm Sophia, a yoga teacher based in Sydney, Australia. Welcome to this 30-minute practice. It's going to be an earthy transitional flow. And we're going to get started by sitting on a block in hero pose. So having your block in between your legs and with an upright posture, relaxing the shoulders and hands on your knees. So you will need at least one block with you today, so make sure you have that close to you. You should be sat on it now. And if you haven't got a block, just maybe a book, a thick book that has some height, so you'll need to be using that later. So just close your eyes and just come and arrive in this space and just center yourself and just maybe take a nice big deep breath in through the nose and clear it out through the mouth. Just let go of anything that's happened today and just appreciate arriving on the mat and just having the next 30 minutes just for you. And remember just to always come back to the breath throughout this practice. Yoga is a moving meditation, and we use the breath to anchor the mind and also to help us breathe through all of the poses. So when you're ready, just tiptoe the hands forward and come into a child's pose. And just rest here for a couple breaths. Maybe rolling over the forehead from side to side if that feels good, just releasing any tension. If you want to remove the block, you can do so now. And we're going to come into a side stretch. So moving the hands to the right hand side and leaning over to the left and really feeling that lovely stretch in the left side body. Just really opening up the left side. Breathe into it here. Coming back to center and then moving over to the left hand side and then rolling over to the right side of your ankles so that you're stretching the right side of your body. Breathing into that right side, opening up the body. And rising up to a tabletop position, so hips directly over knees, shoulders directly over wrists, and coming into a few cat-cows, my favourite. Just really helps mobilise the spine, promotes this spinal flexion and extension, which improves the mobility of the spine and helps prevent any stiffness, which is also a common cause of poor posture. So cat-cows are incredibly important to maintain good posture. We want to inhale by opening the chest forward and exhale, pushing the floor away, nose to belly button. Okay, we're moving on swiftly to making hip circles. So anti-clockwise or clockwise first, just inhaling, coming up over the wrists, exhaling, bend in the knees, sending the hips back. And just do any movement that feels good for you here. Just explore what feels good with the breath. We're going to push the floor away, curl the toes under, press into the hands and lift your hips up and back into our first downward dog. And then maybe rolling the ankles. Okay, we're going to come into a wave, so inhaling, coming over up to high plank, and then exhale, bend to the knees, send the hips up to the sky, downward dog. Just do a few of those, whatever feels good. On the inhaling, coming up to high plank, and exhaling, pushing the floor away, downward dog. Okay, once you've done a couple of those, we want to tiptoe the feet towards the top of the mat, towards the hands, and then just let go of the upper body, coming into a ragdoll. Maybe clasping the elbows with your hands and just rolling and rocking from side to side. Okay, letting the hands go gently, one vertebra at a time. Roll yourself all the way up to standing. Neck and head is the last to come up. And just maybe with your eyes closed, just take a lovely breath here. Just appreciate this moment. Feeling really great and really connected, your mind and your body. Okay, we're going to do a little sun salutation A for a warm up. So when you're ready, we want to inhale, send your hands up to the sky, and then exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. And then we want to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping it back into a high plank. Shoulders over wrists. Now this first one, we're going to drop the knees and then lower the chest all the way to the floor. We're going to inhale, coming up to cobra. Squeezing your glutes, exhale, untuck the toes, sending the hips back into our downward facing dog. The goal here is to really keep a straight line from your wrists to your shoulders, rather than trying to straighten your legs. So remember that for your next downward dog. And on the next inhale, we're going to step it forward, coming into halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, and then inhale, coming up to rise. Okay, we're going to have a little fun with our practice today and move around the mat. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale, sending the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips, hands planting on the floor. Taking a step back into our downward dog. We're going to breathe here, and on your next inhale, we're going to send the right foot up to the sky, coming into our three-legged dog, flexing that top foot, and then exhale, we're going to take the knee into the chest, planting it down, and rising up, coming into a crescent lunge with more of a forward fold, with your arms sent back, aeroplane arms. And then on the next inhale, coming into a full crescent lunge. So our left back heel is raised. Taking an inhale here, and then we're going to exhale. We're going to twist to the right, so coming into a revolved crescent lunge. Inhale to rise, coming back to high crescent lunge. And then exhale, open up the hips to the left side of the mat, coming into our warrior two. And our left foot is going to be pointing to the long edge of the mat. Okay, swiftly moving onto a side lunge on the left. So really bending that left knee And then we're gonna move over to the right hand side. So without using the hands, if you can. And then moving over to the left. So we're gonna be doing 3 of those. And then coming back to center, you should be facing the long edge of the mat. We're going to do a goddess pose. So inhale your arms up, wiggle the feet in, toes pointing outwards. Exhale, bend in those knees, cactus the arms. Staying here for a breath. And then exhale, push up. We're going to do a Skandasana, side lunge to the right. Side lunge to the left, maybe using your arms if you need to. One more side lunge to the right, and then we're going to rise up back into our warrior 2, but facing the back of the mat. So right foot should be facing the side of the mat, front foot should be facing forward, bend in that front knee. Inhale, high lunge. Center the hips. Exhale, revolved lunge. Twist to the left. We're going to inhale, coming back to high lunge. And then we're going to lean forward, sending the arms back to aeroplane arms, coming into our forward fold crescent lunge. And then planting the hands back, sending that left foot back into our downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to do that again on the right hand side. So sending the right foot up on the inhale, flexing the foot. Exhale, we're going to bring knee to nose or knee to right elbow and plant that foot right next to your right hand. And then back heel is lifted. We're going to inhale to rise up, but only halfway fold, aeroplane arms. And then inhale up towards high crescent lunge. And exhale here to twist to the right, revolved high lunge. Take an inhale here, coming back to center, square the hips, and then exhale, open the hips up to the side, warrior 2. Bend in that front knee still. Back foot is towards the side of the mat now. Okay, Skandasana, side lunge to the left. Inhale to come to center, exhale to lunge. This is a really tough one, guys. Inhale and exhale to lunge. Really tough on the legs. Okay, we're going to inhale, come back to center. We're going to do our goddess. Make sure your feet, toes are pointed outwards, heels in. Inhale, arms to rise. Exhale, bend in the knees, cactus. Staying here for one breath. And then exhale to come back to center and down to the right. A lunge, left lunge, and one more right lunge. And you probably know it by now. We're going to come back to our warrior 2 on the left hand side, facing forward, looking over your top hand. Remember making sure that front knee is not caving in. Inhale back to center, square the hips, crescent lunge. And exhale, revolved to the left hand side. Take another inhale to come up, back to center, high lunge. And probably exhale here. And take another inhale and exhale, lean forward, back into our high crescent lunge, arms back, aeroplane arms. And then planting the hands on the floor, stepping your left foot back into our downward facing dog. Well done, everyone. That was quite quick, but we did it. We made it so far. So just take a little breather here in your downward facing dog And either come into a child's pose for a few breaths or stay in your downward dog. Okay, coming up from our child's pose, we're going to move into our downward facing dog, and we're going to slowly walk up to the top of the mat into our forward fold. And then we're going to inhale to rise, arms up overhead, and then exhale, opening the hands up to mountain pose. Okay, we're going to take feet wider than hips width, inhaling the arms up to the sky, and then bend in the knees lower down all the way to Malasana Yogic Squat. Okay, so next we're going to be taking crow pose. So if you already know how to do crow, please go and take it now and stay there for a couple of breaths. If you have not done it before, please grab a pillow, that could be your crash mat, and place it in front of you. And we're going to walk it through in stages. So placing your hands firmly in front of you on the floor, and maybe the middle finger is pointing forward with your fingers spread, keeping your elbows bent. Lift the hips high and place your knees on the back of your upper arms as high as you can. Squeeze the upper and outer arms together and round strongly through the upper back, drawing the waist in. Then we're going to inhale, reach the heart forward and just let one foot come up. Then bring the other to meet it if possible. So the key here is really to shift the weight forward and look forward. And it just may be a bit scary at first, but because you've got that pillow there, you're going to be absolutely fine. We all fall, so just have fun with it, play around, and it's okay if you fall. We all do it. I find this probably the most difficult pose because it's so intense on the arms. So try not to get disgruntled if you can't do it. It's extremely hard. It took me a long time to learn how to do this pose. So yeah, just keep going. Remember to also steady the breath, and remember, steady breath, steady mind, steady body. Okay, well, once you've done maybe your second attempt, we're gonna shift the weight back and come onto our bums and onto our backs, and we're going to do a nice bridge, a lovely back bend, just to cleanse all of that arm balancing that we've done. So lying on your back, placing your feet flat on the floor, making sure you can maybe touch your ankles with your fingertips. That's when you know your feet are far enough away. And placing the arms next to the rib cage and pressing the hands, the arms against the floor, lifting the hips up, engaging the glutes, and keep pressing down with your feet, keeping your feet active, shoulder blades back and down, and breathe. Maybe lengthening your tailbone, and last inhale, and then exhaling, releasing back down to the floor, and windscreen wiping the legs, the knees from side to side, just maybe once. We're going to go into another bridge, so when you're ready, coming up, and maybe you might want to stay here, or if you want a bit more of intensity, maybe you'll wiggle the shoulders underneath and clasping those hands together underneath, and really lifting the chest towards the sky. And inhale here, then exhale, release back down to the floor. And windscreen wipe those legs out. So the third bridge we can either take as a bridge, or if wheel is in your practice, please also go towards wheel. So wheel is placing your hands at either side of your shoulder and pressing against the mat, lifting your chest and back and bum up off the floor, and then also whilst pressing your feet into the floor. So this is obviously a very intense back bend, so go easy on it, take it easy, and maybe only stay for one breath. And on the exhale, tucking the chin into the chest, gently come down one vertebra at a time. Okay, the next pose we're going to do is shoulder stand. So just be careful with this one, as we want to be able to protect the neck as possible, so no sudden movements in the neck. And we want to lie on our back and arms next to your body, pushing your lower back into the floor. And as you exhale, stay there, and inhale, lift up your legs up to the sky whilst pressing your palms, your arms into the floor, and sweeping your legs overhead. And we want to roll on the upper back. We want to be right on the upper back, and we want to be placing our hands on our back. Or if you're feeling comfortable and the joints feel this effortless weightlessness, maybe you'll be able to straighten those arms onto the floor. But this is just for maybe experienced people. If not, just support the back, the lower back, with placing your hands there. And the idea here is for the blood to flow directly from the feet down into the body, and it's almost very cleansing sensation. And from here you can either tilt the feet over the head and come into a plow pose if you would like, so where your legs are straight over your head, bums in the air, arms straight behind you. Just breathing here. If you're in shoulder stand, how you come out of shoulder stand is tipping the legs over the body, like as if you were going into a plow, but instead just gently roll down one vertebra at a time onto the mat, and then sending the legs back down to the floor. Amazing. Okay, as a counter pose, we take fish normally. So lying down on your back, and you can either keep your legs straight, or if this doesn't feel comfortable, you can bend the knees, and placing the head, the top of the head, the crown of the head on the mat. And if this isn't comfortable, you can place something under your head to support the head. And either take fish or flying fish, which is where you're raising your legs up, your hands up towards the sky. Amazing. Okay, the penultimate pose is our favorite happy baby, so clasping the big toes, rolling from side to side, over the lower back. Just enjoying the sensations, the relaxation. Okay, we're going to stretch that out with hands overhead, feet in front, and taking a nice big stretch, and then collapse on the floor in Shavasana. Closing down the eyes. We're going to be here for a couple of minutes, so making sure you're comfortable, whether you get a blanket or an eye mask, just to bring you into a nice comfortable Shavasana. So for a second, just take a few moments and witness the breath flowing freely, long and deep, peaceful and still. And as you breathe in, aim to elongate the breath, long and deep, and then ensure the exhalation is slightly longer than the inhalation, inducing the body into a parasympathetic nervous state. I'll rest and digest. Maybe witnessing the heart rate intentionally reduce, dropping it into the same rhythm of your breath. Feel the relaxation traveling down the body to your feet, to your legs, into your hips. As you inhale the fresh oxygen into your lungs. As you exhale, release all the tension in your body, your fingertips, your arms, your shoulders. Feeling the relaxation travel into your skull, your forehead. Feeling your facial expression soften. Just enter into this full state of relaxation. And enjoy the last few moments in complete stillness and peacefulness. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to wiggle those fingertips, wiggle those toes, maybe deepen the breath, and give yourself a nice big stretch overhead, and then hugging the knees into the chest, and with your eyes closed, making your way gently up to a seated position on the mat, with your hands resting on your knees. And let's take a nice big deep inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. we bow down and say thank you for sharing the practice with me. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, and see you in the next video.